Good Wednesday morning, PCS Station family. On the bench as Trend Center, kicking off another day. Slinging screws, kicking ass, making lefties cry. Wednesday, April 5th, 2023. Loads of things to talk about today. This same fucking guy as yesterday. I can't believe this. Somebody call a cop. You gotta be kidding with that beater. It's like a 20-year-old car. It's not like he's like some kid with like a real nice car just and a real tiny little dick trying to just like compensate. It's just some fucking clown with a shitty old car. Stop it. I'm not starting over. I'm going. I'm getting into three things. Not three things. The thing I'm getting into is a three-thing thing. You know how that goes with me. It's just like a, I don't know, it's a lucky number or whatever, but people did good and people did bad yesterday, and that's what the three things are. There were two people who did really good yesterday, in my opinion. One which you know about, another one which you don't, I'm sure, unless you happen to hear it too. And one did really bad. And it's just so much shit to talk about. I'm just going to kick it off with this, just to get the ball rolling, and we'll talk throughout the rest of the day on everything else. So, what do we do? It's just the eternal question. Do you do the good thing or the bad thing first? So let's do a good thing first, because this one I'll probably forget at the end if I don't, because I'll start getting into other things. Yesterday, this is one guy who did good yesterday, who you didn't hear about, probably. On my way home from work last night, 6 o'clock, so it's about 3 hours after the indictment dropped, and you know what, fucking, this indictment is just unbelievably ridiculous, and I feel silly even saying that, because of course we're going to say that, even if it did have, you know what I'm saying? It's so blatantly a joke, it almost feels embarrassing to say it's a joke, but we'll save that for another time. Good guy number one, good thing guy number one. I'm walking home from work last night, 6 o'clock, 3 hours after the indictment dropped, and I'm listening, but it's on TV, I guess. I think it was Newsmax, whatever I was listening to. An ad comes on. Vivek Ramaswamy comes on with a campaign ad, pops up on the screen, and just flat out says, "My name is Vivek Ramaswamy. I'm running for the Republican nomination for president in the 2024. And what happened to Donald Trump is a travesty. It is a shot against America." And he just went on to totally blast for 30 seconds. This guy took out a campaign ad, like a campaign style ad, and I would presume paid for with his campaign money, because he did throw in the "I'm running for, president." Took out an ad on national TV to say that Trump was getting fucked and America was getting fucked, and they support him all the way. That was a balls move. This guy, man, you know what? I don't see any path for him. But the guy is saying the right things and he's acting the right way, and it's good that he's in this. I like that this guy's in this race, and I'm not throwing support. It's just way too early for that shit anyway. Don't misunderstand like that I'm talking nice about this guy. All I'm saying is, this is a guy we ought to be listening to just to see what he does, because he's saying the right things and he's doing the right things, and this impressed me a lot when he did that yesterday. Just like within a couple of hours, had an ad on national television saying, "This is bullshit. That's my competitor. That's the guy I'm running against, and I'm coming out here to tell you this is bullshit, and he's getting screwed and it's wrong." Very impressive from Vivek Ramaswamy. I'm going to have such a tough time saying that name in the heat of like being angry about something, but good on him. So let's do the bad now. The bad one, the one who was real bad, the one who really fucked up. And again, it's logical. You know I'm going to say this. It's not like it's any secret. Alvin Bragg is a complete buffoon. He made a statement yesterday after the indictment dropped and basically just broke every single rule in the American Bar Association Guide of Ethics in his statement, going out and tainting the potential jury pool with the things he said, and just saying everything that the prosecutor's not supposed to say in a situation like this out loud in public, and nobody's going to give a shit, and they're just going to let it slide. But the guy's a fucking buffoon. It's a disgrace what's going on, and the players involved, it's embarrassing. And you have to think there's a lot of people out there that were on board with this whole scheme at the start, and seeing the shit that's going down and the indictment that came out, and still it's a fucking mystery. Nobody knows what this guy's going for. Nobody knows what this guy's going for. It's a mystery. He's got like the secret sauce that isn't even out there yet. Anyway, getting off the point, he made his statement, and it was just a disgrace. Everybody that I heard throughout the night last night talk about it said this guy's just an embarrassment and he should at the very least be sanctioned for it, whatever. So that's the bad shit. And the final good one that you all know about last night, I'm sure you all watched it or at least parts of it, or maybe you didn't, whatever, if you're not into that sort of thing. I think Donald Trump did real good last night. The tone was right, but he did not hold one thing back. They didn't put the gag order on him. That might have made a difference. He lit everybody up. He lit everybody up. And not only did he light up Bragg, which 100% you knew he was going to do, but he went after the bullshit going on down in Georgia. He went after Letitia James. He went after Jim Smith, if that's his real name, the special prosecutor assigned to oversee all the bullshit that they just want to keep working on to try and get him while the campaign's going on now that he's a candidate and they can't really do anything about it. That guy, remember him? And he's overlooking the Mar-a-Lago raid and all that shit. He lit him up. He went after everybody. But he didn't get crazy. He didn't make it me. He kept the tone. It wasn't a campaign speech, which is ironic, and we'll get to that part in a second. But it was like he was just sitting around a table with his peeps, just saying, this is what happened, guys, and it's bullshit. We all know it's bullshit, and we're all looking at each other in the eye and understanding that it's bullshit. But let's just keep our cool, and here's what's up, and here's what we're gonna do, and let's go. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't me. It was a good tone. I think Trump did really good last night. So there's that. You know what? I could just sit here and keep going all day. There's so many ridiculous things. Oh, the thing that I said was ironic about he didn't make it like a campaign speech. He made it like a statement that everybody covered it. Obviously, every station covered it because of course you're going to cover it. And within a couple of minutes, all the CNNs and the MSNBCs and all of them, the leftist sock puppet media were like, oh, this is starting to sound like a campaign speech and you have to give equal time to both candidates and this is not in the spirit of the correct thing. So since it's starting to sound like a campaign speech to us, we're going to cut away. And they cut away from what he said. Okay, that's fine. It was on other places too. You didn't have to, but yeah, it's just another little fucking stake on it that this is political bullshit. And the last thing, again, this is going to be another one of those fucking 12-minute videos that takes 6 hours to upload. But we're going to get into a lull now. We had a nice hyped up couple of days with this shit, and we're still going to have a little carryover of that. But proceeding, the next court date on this is in December 4th. That's a year from now. And they're saying that the prosecution is looking for a trial in January. And just please examine that real quick. It's not going to take you long. If they start this trial in January, it's going to go on throughout the entire campaign season leading up to the election. January 2024, you throw a trial in there. So now you're putting it upon Donald Trump to be on trial for this bullshit. It's not going to happen, whatever. Again, this is just too many shit to put into a little quick morning shot. You're going to have Trump on trial for this shit at the same time he's trying to campaign. It's just going to be fucking mayhem. It's going to be crazy. The only thing we have coming in the next foreseeable future that's going to change about this thing is the motions. They have until August 8th, I think was the date, for Trump's team to file the motions for change of venue. The 800 different fucking motions to file for dismissal of this bullshit that are all going to get discarded. And here's another thing Here's another thing to play in the judge. Think what you want about him. He's corrupt. He's not corrupt. He did this before. He's been involved in this other. Just toss all that aside and understand why that there's not going to be a dismissal in this case. Because this is Manhattan. This is the New York Southern District or whatever, this region. This judge dismisses this case here in New York. He's never going to have lunch anywhere in New York City again. He's finished. It's a cultural thing. This judge is not going to throw away his entire cushy lifestyle as a New York blue, brown nose and butt judge to dismiss the trial and do the right thing for Donald Trump, okay? This guy likes his lifestyle. He likes going to the clubs in New York for lunch with the other snooty, true blue New York fucking legal eagles. He's not going to throw that away, and that's what would happen. If he dismissed this thing, he'd be finished in New York. And that's just not going to happen. So don't count on a dismissal, despite the fact that every fucking legal pundit on the planet is laughing and saying, of course, this case gets dismissed the second it gets brought into a courtroom. Don't count on it. That's all I'm saying. And I'm going to stop now. I'm just going to do a blunt trauma right now. Stop. Because I could do this all day, and my train's coming. Love you guys. Thank you all for your support here on PCS Nation on Substack. Get out there and sling screws, kick ass, make lefties cry. Keep your heads up. Keep moving. Keep breathing. Keep moving forward. And all that good shit. And we'll talk about all this ludicrous, disgusting bullshit throughout the day.